Hey, it's Rick with the Rock Bottom Outreach. It's Real Talk Monday. I hope you had a great weekend. When I had hit rock bottom, there was a time I took a job when I was living in Keller, all the way in Gainesville at the state school. And I had a vehicle that was a 2000 Ford Explorer, and it just was not good on gas. But for a guy with no money, I never ran out of gas. I cannot explain it. Always had $1 in the account, enough pocket change, something, but for some reason, I never ran out of gas. But it was during that time I started to realize who God was. And it was during those times that I'm like, Lord, man, you got to help me out. And I'm beginning to talk out loud and communicate to him. But I'm also reading his promises. And so let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 31, verse 6. And it says, be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or terrified because of them. For the Lord your God goes with you. He will never leave you and he'll never forsake you. And it was during those times that I was reminded that I was not alone. Physically looking around, I was alone. But the presence of the Lord was always there with me. And I began to learn to communicate with him by talking just like this. And so God promises he'll never leave us. There was another time during a rainstorm, I went down into a ravine and my car hit this log and I expected to be washed away, I'll be honest with you. And somehow the car kept moving. I can't explain it because I'm telling you, man, it was in a bad position. And it was like someone carried me over the log because no one was around. It was pitch dark. It was a very scary time. But it was like someone gave me an extra push. Again, you're like, man, explain that. And at the time, I couldn't explain it. But I want to remind you of this. If you've ever read or have not read Footprints in the Sand. And the author of it talks about a dream he had. And he said as he's walking along the beach, there's times he looks back and there's two sets of footprints. But he discovered during the lowest part of his life, there was only one set of footprints. And so he basically challenged the Lord. He said, Lord, how come during the lowest part of my life when I looked, I was alone? Why was there only one set of footprints and you never would leave me? And the Lord answered, it was during the lowest part of your life that I carried you. Wow. During the lowest part of my life and during the changes in my life, God has carried me. I can't explain it any other way. But he's never left me. He's never forsaken me. The Lord has never let me down. And here's what I need you to understand today. It's time you believe God's promises. You're not alone, whatever you're going through. Maybe there's something you've gone through and you couldn't explain something that happened. Maybe now you can explain it. Maybe when you looked around and there were only one set of footprints, because maybe God was carrying you. Be encouraged with that today. It's Rick with the Rock Bottom Outreach. It's been Real Talk Monday. Have a great day, baby. Bam!